How can anyone gain the measure of the man? You might try by traveling back to his old hometown. You might hang out where he hung out. You might take a train on the Hudson River Division of the old New York Central Line. You might gaze at the big city from a safe distance. Or just plain soak in the pleasures of life on the big river. It was on this playing field that Dave played soccer, distinguishing himself with all league honors. It was this golf course that Dave ignored. Consequently, he can't swing a golf club to save his life. And it was at this school that Dave went forth into his seemingly never-ending education. The endless quest for knowledge, facts. How can we measure the man? Let's take a hard look at the facts. Dave was born on Christmas Day, 1959, to Gene and Ernie Howell of the Wall Street Howells, a well-known, prominent financial and philanthropic family of New York. Dave showed early promise as a circus performer, but was steered clear of this early career move mistake. A classic introvert, he didn't speak until well into the 3rd grade. He was only able to form a close relationship with his older brother, Mark. Although born a year apart, they still had to be surgically separated at birth. It was possibly this trauma that led to the sibling rivalry that lasts to this day. This is the last known photo now in existence of the two actually cooperating on anything. But why do we show you these memories? Why are we dragging out old baby pictures in search of the measure of the man? Apart from the perfectly good reason that by doing so we're probably embarrassing the hell out of him as we speak. But let's not stop there. Let's move on from the man to the myth. Howellmore, ancestral home of the Howell dynasty for generations. It was here that we sought our story. It was here that we tried to set straight a few loose ends.
Oh, David was the only brother I could ever imagine having. As a person, well, respect isn't exactly the first word that jumps to mind when we're talking about Dave.
Yeah, he's a bum. He never used to walk me. All he did was have those girls up in his room every night, more girls. We always used to try to look in the window.
Now, as you know, my apartment overlooks the Howell abode. I've been looking down upon the Howells for years, and that's pretty much the way I feel about Dave. I remember back in the distant youth of Mark and Dave, when one day I heard voices outside my window saying, "Hello." These young lunatics had climbed an evergreen tree and were peering in my 6th floor window. What they had done was carry voyeurism to new heights. Since turnabout is fair play, I decided to get even. And I decided to look into Dave's window. Oh my God, such debauchery. They don't call him DD for nothing. Oh.
Here we are in the back hall of Howellmore, right outside the room that Dave lived in. We've kept this room unchanged since the day that Dave left.
Sugar, oh honey, honey.
It's pretty much the way it was, except for there's no piles to step over. And what we have over here is what's left of David's shrine to himself. We've cleaned it up a little bit, but it's an eternal flame to Dave.
Yeah, and then he left. Yeah, he said he went away to college. When he came back, he said he graduated. Yeah, right.
Interesting story about Dave. The graduation was not actually official. Ever since the word hit the paper about that incident with the dean's 16-year-old daughter at the Chieftain Motel, well, Dave got out of that with a little bit of financial aid.
What? Dave Howell? That bum? He took off and he owes me 10 grand.
It's funny. It was really, that was a very fun time. I'll always remember it.
Doesn't it look like Dave Howell's bookie?
Dave Howell? He took me to the senior prom.
He did?
Yeah, and you know what? The bum drove me home at 9:30.
He took me to the senior prom and he picked me up at 9:45.
Yeah, and I bet he gave you my corsage, too.
He gave me a dead flower.
We were pretty broken up when we found out Dave actually had to go to jail on the whole Drexel deal. We sent down cookies and things like that, but we kind of resisted his request to send down Playboys. We thought he'd just get into more trouble down there than he needed.
Taking it off here, boss.
Yeah, dragline, take it off there.
Gotta do an interview first, boss.
Yeah, dragline, take it off there.
Yeah, me and, I used to call him the Wolf Man, Dave Hall. We did time together in prison up in minimum security thing, shared a bunk together. It was kind of a learned guy, would always be reading stuff and turn to me all the time and say, like, Wayne, what does it all mean? Then he'd turn the page off the forum section and get to the pictures. Excuse me?
What was the deal?
Oh, well, we had some European bank thing and we had some knowledge of a particular holding company up in New Zealand, and we had this giant game plan and we had everything going fine. We only needed the paperwork to come over, and we had it in this Pan Am plane, which was why that company went down the drink, because over Scotland, this damn terrorist put plastic explosives in the cassette recorder, and the FBI's investigating it all, and they find the briefcase. And of course, it's got the whole damn game plan in it, and my name's all over it, and Wolfman's there, and that was that.
Dave was pretty cute in high school. He did something really nice. He took me to Mount Airy Lodge in the Poconos for that last week of senior year.
He took me to Mount Airy Lodge in the Poconos. The last week of school?
Yeah, we had a room with a bathtub that was shaped like a heart.
We had a bathtub shaped like a sports car.
So did you hear he's getting married again?
David's getting remarried? Hey, Pam, the bum's getting married!
He's getting married? He's already behind on his support payments. I don't know about that. Well, this is Dave right here, his son, and this is Dave also. I mentioned that it would be confusing to name both of them Dave, and they do have some personality problems because of it. And this is Andrea, which is a different name, and I was glad that she wasn't named Dave too, although it took a lot of talking to him to get him to change his mind about naming her Dave too. She's still upset about it.
Wasn't it about 9 months after Mount Airy Lodge that you had your first son?
It was about 9 months.
And wasn't it about 9 months when I had mine?
Yes, it was exactly 9 months.
And what did we call our sons? Dave!
Oh my God!
If you ever see Dave Howell again, you tell him I'm looking for him. Tell him I want my money. Tell him I'm going to break his legs if I don't get my money.
Hi, Dave. I don't know if you remember me, but I remember you. I bought you some drinks at the Mississippi River bottom. It was fabulous. I know you're getting married, and I'm very jealous, but I just want you to know that I hope you have a very happy marriage, and think of me often, as I will you. Bye.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was right after
That was right after he came out of the closet.
Yeah, that was it.
Yo, can I scratch your nose?
Yeah, dragline, take it off there.
All right, thanks. You know, I did hear someone tell me down at a Mardi Gras there, and as a matter of fact, I had some pictures, and so I saw the Wolfman, if he sees this, saw those pictures, every one of them, down at the Mardi Gras, man. Shame. Shouldn't do that, man. You should definitely, you didn't think you'd do that in the joint, that stuff.
Ooh, my. Oh, very nice. I'd like to see all of you like this.
So there you have it, the man, the myth, his bachelor party. His ego can still be felt strutting the halls of his old high school on his way to cut class or some other noble pursuit. We'll never forget that final U.S. soccer championship game with Dave dribbling the ball through hapless defenders one-on-one, never stopping, never passing, driving downfield to kick a field goal? The gaffes, the missteps, the typical Dave moves. The memories of Dave are shared far and wide by his former schoolmates. That's why his friends got together to do this incredibly accurate piece of brilliantly written and photographed video. His life is impressed on us like a used post-it note. He will never be forgotten.
And cut.
Okay, Marty, that's it.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jack.
Hey, by the way, are you going to this guy's wedding?
Yeah, he had to invite me. I lent him the $100 for his engagement ring.